Hi yogis, it's so great to be here with you today. If you were able to tune into the mindful movement and then the standing portion of our home is where the heart is, this is the culmination of this practice. So you'd roughly get about 30 minutes of a full practice if you combine all these videos together. And they all work together, so it's a little bit simple and easy for you to be able to tune in as you're ready. This practice brings everything back down to the earth. It's a particularly good practice if you're perhaps feeling a sense of exhaustion. There's a lot of heaviness happening in the world around us. And if you're feeling that heaviness in your heart, in your body, in your mind, this practice can actually be rejuvenating. It's a lot of restorative yin-like movements. We'll be using blankets to support us. So we'll be folding our blankets in a very specific way. If you have two blankets that are relatively the same size or two bath towels that are relatively the exact same size, press pause and go grab them and bring them back, just two. And then when you come back to your place, take a moment to pause here. I'm also using two blocks for this practice today, but you can just pull in a couch pillow of any size. That would also be helpful to be able to give any amount of extra support and or two couch pillows of any size to give you extra support. So here is the blanket fold. Let's say you have a blanket or a beach towel or a bath towel, and you're gonna make it into sort of a rectangular shape. And then fold it in half one more time. And then take a moment to hold it like almost like you were holding a basket in front of you. We're doing something called an S or a Z fold. You're gonna take a third of the blanket and fold it back, and then a third of the blanket and fold it forward. So if you saw it on its side, it kind of looks like an S or a Z shape. And we're gonna do that exact same fold twice. So place that first fold on the mat. One blanket, one more time, exact same fold. And once we fold them, we're not touching them. We're going to keep them in the same space. We might move them around slightly, but the folds are done for us ahead of time. So unfolding it and folding it one time in half. So it's a longer rectangle. Make sure there's no folds or ridges. Holding it here and then folding it a third back and a third forward, taking that same exact S or Z fold and placing that also on the mat. So this is actually going to be supportive of your back body. And as you come to make your way down onto the mat, just notice the shape of this support. If you're working with blocks, take one of your blocks to one side of your mat so it's nearby, and the other block to the other side of your mat within arm's length reach. If you're working with your pillows, then you're just doing the exact same thing and bringing them down by your side body. This is the same thickness is the pillow and the block, so it really doesn't matter what you're using. But take a moment, kind of wriggle yourself down. Your head should be on the top blanket, your shoulders somewhere on the bottom blanket, but I'd like for you, before you get super comfy, to look at the blankets and just make sure you have space for your arm in between the two blankets, for your whole shoulder and your arm, because we're going to take this into a side posture, which means we want to make sure that we're supported. So starting on your back body, make any movements that would feel comforting to you. This opens up our hearts. It reminds us that home is where our heart is. This posture can be energizing, especially if we're feeling a little bit more depleted. Your knees can be bent, your feet flat on the earth, or they could stretch out long in front of you. Taking a moment to pause in this shape. If you know that as you're resting here, it would feel supportive to hear some music in the background, And feel free to check out the playlist that I'm going to insert in the comments to this video, or any sounds that may feel supportive. And maybe what you need is silence. So noticing what that might look like for you. Allowing yourself to land here. And then as you feel ready, drawing your arms gently by your sides, step your feet back onto the earth if you would stretch them out long on the mat in front of you. And just know that if you're in a shape at any point in time, you can pause this video and stay there. Linger there for as long as you wish. These shapes are supportive, so they're designed to invite you to stay here longer should you need additional rest. Arms are by your sides, and on your breath in, reach your arms overhead. Just invite the breath into these movements. And as you breathe out, arms come by your sides. Inhale, arms reach up and all the way overhead. Exhale, arms by your sides. Inhale, arms reach overhead. Exhale, arms right by your sides. A few more rounds just like that. Next time your arms soften, allow them to remain by your side body. And just begin to slide your hips a little bit toward one side of the mat as you draw your knees down toward the opposite side. Your block or your pillows should be nearby to slide underneath your knees, or maybe you're even using another pillow to slide in between your knees with the block supporting your outer knee. Just find a pause in this shape. One more full round of breath right where you're at. Long exhale out. Take a moment to begin to draw your knees back up to center with or without any props. Slide your hips over toward the opposite side of the mat, and maybe let your knees fall down to the left hand side this time. Breathing in here and breathing out. Next time your knees come back up through center, take a pause there. Reach down and slide anything that you had perhaps between your knees back from where it came. If you had nothing, then take a moment to draw your knees to about hips width distance apart. Bring your arms into your goalpost shape and let them hover a bit above the earth. So you're bending into your elbows, your palms are reaching toward the sky. Take a breath in here. As you exhale, draw your forearms toward one another. Awesome. Inhale to open that back up. Exhale to close. Inhale to open back up. Exhale to close. Inhale to open. Exhale to close. Inhale to open. And then start to very gently begin to roll onto your left side body. Slide your left arm and left shoulder in between the two blankets. Your head will be on the one blanket. Your side body will be on the second blanket. As you pause here in this side opener, invitation to reach your top arm overhead, maybe your top leg a little bit out in front of you. Soften the leg, stacking the knees, hips and ankles, and just release your top arm by your side body. Inhale to lift it up overhead. Exhale, release your arm down by your side body. Inhale to lift it up overhead. Exhale to gently release. Inhale to lift. Exhale to release it by your side body. Option to keep it there or to let your top arm rest on your bottom arm. So that would be the right arm on top of the left arm. Maybe soften at your elbows. Find a pause in this shape. Again, the opportunity is to stay here for as long as you would like. Press pause, feel free to linger. We'll very slowly come to begin to find our way to the other side. And I'm going to stay facing you, but this time you'll roll onto your back body and just set up resting on your right side body, taking a moment to reach your right arm in between the top blanket and the bottom blanket, right shoulder in between both. Allow yourself to pause here. Make any adjustments you may need as you switch sides, taking your time. Extend your top leg. This time that's the left leg and left arm overhead. Take a little bit of a full body stretch there. As you exhale, soften your left leg so that the left hips, knees, and ankles are stacked. But reach that left arm overhead. As you exhale, soften it down by your side. Inhale to lift. Exhale to soften. Inhale to lift. Exhale to soften. Inhale to lift it overhead. Exhale to soften. You can pause with that arm on your side body. You can rest with the left arm stacked on top of the right arm with a soft bend into your elbows. Opportunity to pause here for as long as you would like. If you're choosing to take this into the closing, begin to make your way back onto your back body, starting in a gentle butterfly shape or reclined cobbler shape. So soles of your feet come together, knees come out to the sides, blocks slide underneath your knees on any setting. Maybe they're coming up on a medium setting, maybe they're even a higher setting. Notice where you feel the most support for your knees and the shape. You could have pillows instead supporting you. Just invite in a few rounds of breath right where you're at. Allowing yourself this gentle pause, bringing your attention back to your heart space with the reminder that home is where your heart is. So inviting yourself to deeply listen to what it is your heart might need. Our hearts feel so much during the course of our days. My heart especially has felt a little heavier the last few days as well. I'm inviting compassion and understanding toward others. I'm wishing kindness and peace to the whole world. And reserving this ability to find self-love, which includes taking moments of resting and pausing, especially when things feel very heavy and daunting around us. Option to stay here for longer, or to begin to make your way into your final relaxation shape, maybe stretching your legs out long in front of you, maybe taking a moment and reaching behind you, unfolding your blanket so that it's supporting behind your head and your neck, maybe taking the other blankets, unfolding that one so it is now resting along your side body for some additional support. You can tuck the blocks underneath your knees and find this position of rest with that attention right at your heart space. And returning to that same meditation from the beginning of our time together, if you tuned into that first, that was related to pouring your attention behind the cave of your heart and deeply listening to what it is that your heart needs, with the reminder that home is where your heart is. As I offered throughout this whole practice, you can press pause, stay in that final relaxation shape for as long as you would like. If you're closing, you're making your way up into a comfortable seat, where I will take a moment to pause here, bringing both hands to your heart, bowing your head towards your hands and your heart, sealing in your practice, thanking yourselves for giving your all to the month of February. And I thank you for showing up for yourself on the mat, every opportunity that you have. I wish you so much peace, peace, peace. Thank you for tuning in. I look forward to bringing you some fresh flows for the month of March. Thanks so much, yogis. I'll see you soon on the mat or virtually.